Okay, so I'm just making this video addressing the Nasm certification, and I just want to give you my random opinion. There's many videos already on this topic, but I'm going to address another thing that I see people always asking questions about that's not in many videos, and it's about the e-teach, because I did do that package. And I'm going to give you my opinion, and should you do it or should you not? Well, I'm going to start off about the Nasm personal training, and here's the book, which is very detailed course. I will say that you will learn a lot. It builds a great foundation. A lot of things that you were probably confused on, if you came across information online, it will make sense after you're done this, as long as you do the work and you read through the content. Now, the things that you will learn through Nasm is a variety. You'll learn basic exercise science. You'll learn applications. You'll learn how to do assessments. For instance, to check for postural imbalances during certain movements, like an overhead squat, single leg squat, performance assessments, strength, or upper extremity and lower extremity, and then also the agility of the upper extremity and lower extremity. Other things that you'll learn is basic nutrition, supplementation, and then the business aspects and how to deal with clients. So you get that covered also. So it gives you some tips how to do everything when you're actually performing your business outside of the training course is done. Now I'm going to address the e-teach, because I know this is where the main questions lies. Is it worth the money? Now that depends up to the individual themselves. I mean, honestly, that's already obvious. But the reason why I'm saying that is because if you're someone who has a background in exercise science or physiology, even anatomy of some sort, which you'll learn usually through physiology and exercise science, or even if you have a medical background, I personally believe that you really don't need e-teach, because a lot of this stuff that you'll address will kind of pretty much be familiar to you, so you'll just be able to pick this content up fairly quickly. But the thing about e-teach is it does over prepare you. For instance, you have a week by week course of chapters you'll read, which is categorized as units. So the 1 week will be 2 chapters, then it's followed up with a quiz, and you have a weekly discussion that's also due. And the weekly discussions pretty much simulate a real life situation and how you could apply it. But you would use the questions usually like answering it in a written format. So it prepares you to actually learn how to understand and utilize the material that you're being taught. Then in e-teach you also learn, you have videos that come with each of these units, and each of these videos address 2 things. One's the test prep, and then the other one is the application videos. And then after that, you also get test preparation like PDF files, which are in the format of a PowerPoint. And each of these is kind of like an overview or a review of the information that you covered through your reading. And then you do that, bang, bang, bang. You also have a midterm and a final. And then after you're done the 9 weeks, that's how long e-teach is. Now, I'd also like to add, it's a lot different from when I started to when I ended up finishing, because right before I finished up, they did maintenance and they updated everything, where everything is compiled in one nice, complete environment. Before, you had to go to 2 different pages. You had to go 1 page if you wanted to just go to your basic Nasm account, and then you had to go to another page just to go for e-teach. Now everything is combined together. It's a neat package. It's easy. Not really difficult to navigate. Now I will say this, the biggest complaint I did have was the final weeks is overwhelming, and I don't think this would affect the mind state of a lot of individuals. What I will say is this: when you do complete your 9 weeks, do not rush. Do not worry about take as many weeks after that you have to study and become familiar, because you don't want to go and take the test and not pass. I mean, because you do have to take this in a proctored environment and it's time, so you want to have confidence in taking this test to be able to pass it. And but as for eTeach, also I forgot to mention this. They have things. They'll release content like, for instance, you have the study guide. I have it right here. I printed it off the page. You can't really see nothing. See, like for instance, chapter 6 fitness assessment. Can't get that on camera right now, but I mean, you get lots of tools to be able to pass this test. So do not worry about anything if you do decide to go with eTeach. Trust me, it will prepare you. I mean, there has been individuals that said that they didn't get what they thought they were going to get out of it, but I truly believe it just depends how much you put into it. Now, for me, hour here, hour there, throughout the day helped me more than just going straight multiple hours, because I'm an individual. If I do too much and overload myself, I overwhelm myself, and I actually perform worse at whatever I'm doing. So I like to break my studying time up into increments. But other than that, I mean, I think it's a great certification to go through. There's many others, but this is just the one that I could actually have any review upon since I experienced it. And that's all I have to say. Thank you for watching. Oh yeah, and one thing about the test, when it comes to the test, it's different than the practice exam. So if you're an individual who takes practice exams, studies them over and over and over, I wouldn't do that, because they do reword the actual exam. But the actual exam isn't as hard as long as you do study the content. And also, don't get caught up in memorizing definitions word for word, because the test is actually more geared towards you understanding. Geared to you actually understanding the terminology, so they'll actually be worded differently than direct definitions, and then, just pick the multiple choice answer of what goes with that definition. You'll never have that type of question on the test. But that's everything. I just had to state that. Thank you for watching.